1, 2, 3, go!
Hello, welcome to Learn English with Miss Dati. And of course, we are here to make the learning of English language easier for everyone. If today is your first time stopping by, welcome and kindly hit on the subscribe button to enjoy informative and educative lessons from this channel. If you are an old subscriber, welcome and thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Yes, so today we are looking at the writing aspect of English language. But then, let's have a quick recap of what we learned last week, as that one is related to what we are going to do in today's lesson. So last week, we learned effective paragraph and we identified 3 things that you are expected to know. You are expected to what? Go by if you want to write a good paragraph. For those who haven't had the chance to watch the video, the link is in the description button or box. Kindly click on it and enjoy that lesson. Yes, so moving on to today's lesson. If you have 2 friends or you have 2 people who don't know each other, but you are what? Their mutual friend, and you want to what? Get them to meet, or you want them to know each other, how do you go about it? You introduce them. Thank you. Now, in today's lesson, obviously most of the time when students are asked to identify certain things with regards to essay writing, it becomes an issue. Let's have a quick discussion on this. If you are asked, what makes you human? What will be your answers? Obviously, it's because you can talk, you have the features of a human being, that is, you can move, you can write, you can do everything that is expected of you as a human being. Yes, same thing can be applied to what? Essay writing. And that is why we have features of an essay or features of a good essay. And that is what we are going to discuss in today's lesson. Okay, so can you identify some features of a good essay? Yes, obviously, the first one you are likely to mention is introduction. If these 3 came to mind, then bravo, you've done well. Introduction, body, and conclusion. Yes, and to discuss or explain these 3 basic features of every essay, let's consider this example or simple explanation. Let me use the human body, obviously. Now, let's take the introduction to be the head, because that is what we use to talk or we use to exchange or communicate with others. We have the mouth to be part of the head. And then we have the body itself. So let's say from my upper chest to my knee. Let's just use that. Let's consider that. And then we have our legs. That is what makes the complete human body. For the purposes of this discussion, let's consider these 3 breakdown or parts of the human body. So let's relate that of the head to the introduction, and then let's relate that of the upper body, that is the chest area, to our knee as the body, and then we come to the conclusion. And as I said, the mouth is part of the head, and it's usually what we use to communicate. So let's say that is the first part, because you see this before you come down to see the other parts. And then we come to the body. The body is what? The main part of it. It contains or takes a larger sum of what? Our body, because considering the fact that it starts from our upper chest to our knee area, it should tell you how wide or how lengthy that part of the body is. And then we have the conclusion too, which happens to be the leg for the purposes of this discussion alone. So the leg, as we see, carries all the body, because when you are moving with your entire body. So the leg is what's the conclusion, because it carries all these things. And the introduction When you talk of the introduction, it is where you give a fair idea of what you are going to write about, or you exchange pleasantries. So I want to introduce someone or one person to another person. The first thing I'm likely to mention is what? The person's name. And then I give maybe one or two reasons. So I'm introducing, this is Miss Sandra Barton, and she's my friend. So let's say that is the introduction. And then I come to the body. Now, why? The reasons why I'm probably introducing that particular friend of mine, Sandra Barton, to another person. That is when I'm likely to say, oh, she's what? An expert in the making of what? Beaded accessories, or she's an expert when it comes to the making of box or designing places, applying makeup and all those things. I can use that as what? The body, because now I'm giving detailed information about who? About Sandra Barton. And then when we consider the conclusion then will become, I would recommend that you patronize her, or you go in for what? Her services, because she's good at it. This could be considered as a brief and simple lesson, where the introduction is where I mentioned her name, and then I told the person I'm speaking to the relationship between myself and Sandra Barton. And then the body is when we consider what? The things she's capable of. Why do you think I will tell someone that, oh, this person can be what? A makeup artist, this person can produce beaded accessories or jewelry. And then to conclude, now everything I've said, what am I driving at? All that I'm trying to say is the person should what? Patronize my friend because she's good at what she does. That's to explain what these three features what mean. Now let's bring it to the classroom setting, or when it comes to writing an essay. The introduction, usually we exchange pleasantries and then we inform the person the purpose for which the letter or the essay is being written. So that's for the introductory part. You exchange pleasantries and then you state the purpose for which you are writing that particular essay. And when it comes to the body, as I explained earlier, this is the part where what you explained into detail, and that is when the description or the division I gave to the human body becomes relevant, because from the upper chest area to the knee area is what? Is lengthy. In terms of length, it's very long. So you have to talk more. And the introduction always takes one paragraph. The body, the least number of paragraphs we are expected to produce is 3, the least. So let's say I'm introducing my friend, or in the form of an essay. I'm still talking about my friend. I've already mentioned her name. I've mentioned the kind of relationship I have with her. And then the body. I said that she's into bead making. And I explained that, the kind of beads she makes is well standard. She uses expensive things. She's good at it. When you buy it, it can last for years, and it wouldn't get spoiled, or you wouldn't have any issue using it. That is one paragraph on its own. So each paragraph, you state the topic sentence as we discussed in the previous lesson. Every paragraph should have a topic sentence, whether it is explicit or implicit. That is, as you can easily identify it, or it is left for you to identify it. That is the implicit type of topic sentence. So that is for the first part of the body. And then you come to the second part. She's into event recreation. So I explained that part too, with at least 2 or 3 sentences. And then I come to the last part, the fact that she is well known, and it's because she has done a lot of great and good work for other people. Then I come to conclude. So as I concluded earlier, I would recommend that you patronize her because she is good at what she does. Let's bring it now to a more familiar question that you are likely to be asked. In this case, I am trying as much as possible not to use letter writing because, as an example, because most people think every essay is about letter writing. That is why when you go to class and you ask students the features of an essay, the first thing they are likely to say is an address. But then, it's not every essay that is a letter. Letter writing is part or a type of essay. So it's not every essay that has an address, a salutation, recipient address, writer's address, subscription, and all those things. But these are the basic features of every essay. Yes, so I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. And in the next video or in the next class, we are likely to have a more practical example of the features of an essay, that is with regards to answering a particular question. When we are done treating a particular type of essay, then we can apply this kind of knowledge to it. And let me just chip this in. If you want to identify these or become familiar or good with identifying these features of an essay, you can pick a comprehension passage or a summary passage and try to identify the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Also, in the description box is a document that summarizes these parts of an essay and what goes into each of these features or aspects or parts of an essay. Thanks for joining today's lesson. I hope you learned a lot from it. And as usual, your comments, suggestions, any form of inputs or deductions that you have, you can send it to my email at f.z112@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and see you in class next week. Bye bye. Enjoy your day.